So yeah, I just want to have this as a little addendum to preface the video that I actually looked at the allegations that he'd admitted to, and they are pretty freaking wild. And some of the stuff that I'm saying at the start of the video, obviously, didn't know what the allegations were, so of course I find that out later in the video, and they're pretty freaking bad. Right then, okay, let's get into it. Right then, let's check out this video from Kazahana. Honkai Star Rail players are uninstalling over this voice actor. Let's see what this is all about then.
So Honkai Star Rail hasn't been in a lot of drama recently. I mean, the last thing I can really
There's always time. There's always time.
remember was the whole thing with the Acheron voice actor, of them not being the right voice actor
Yeah, people attacking voice actors is just weird. Don't do it.
for some reason. But again, that was something to do with the community and the game, whereas this is actually involved with the voice actors and the actual makeup of the game. If you don't know, Honkai Star Rail released their drip marketing for some new characters, including Mose.
Do you know what? I haven't checked out any of the new drip marketing for Honkai. I didn't watch the stream. I've just I've kind of been pulled away from Genshin and Star Rail. Well, I kind of got pulled away from Genshin a while ago, but I haven't touched Star Rail for a little bit, actually. I went back on and pulled Firefly, and then I haven't played since, because since Wuthering dropped and Zenless dropped, they've been my two games that I'm bouncing between now in the gacha space.
They also teased Lingsha and Fei Xiao, which again look like very, very cool characters. All of them look really
It's just seeing them there scrolling up and down. They actually do look decent. I've not got a great look at them, but they look okay, actually.
really cool. But what we're going to focus on is Mose. Mose is a new 4-star character coming to the game. He's a lightning character.
Kuro, can we have some 4 stars, please? Can we have more 4 stars? I suppose we're kind of getting one in the 3-5-star, but can we have some proper 4 stars? That'd be really nice. Thank you. And a nice support. New healer. Great support.
That follows the path of the hunt, I think that is. And they also announced the English voice actor for him, which is Chris Niosi. Now, you may have heard of his name before because he is actually
I haven't, no.
a very popular voice actor. He voices characters like Julius from ReZero and also Reagan from Mob Psycho, which again...
Oh, okay. I know Mob Psycho.
Again, they're two massive characters and have a lot of meaning. I mean, there's also some other big roles, but I haven't really seen it.
Does a great job in Mob Psycho, actually. So, okay.
Any of them, but let me know if any of these other ones are big. But who would have thought that this would have caused a massive
That's one thing I've noticed, sorry to keep pausing. In gacha games, people seem to be really invested into the voice actor side of things, don't they? And I think some people are when it comes to anime as well. Me, not so much. It's always good to have a good, well voice acted character, but I never really look into the actual voice actors. So many people come through my stream and mention the real names of people who are doing the voice acting. I'm like, man, it's not anything that I actually ever look into, but he did a really good job in Mob Psycho, though.
Controversy in the Honkai Star community, and that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know about it.
Hit me up with the knowledge.
Is, what he's done, to what Hoyoverse could do in the future.
What he's done. That's not a great sounding start to this. What has he done?
And what other VAs and content creators have said about this. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also don't forget to go over to Gamersubs and use my code Kazo.
Yeah, definitely check out Kazahana. Makes great content. Definitely worth a sub, worth a watch. And I still haven't got a code either.
Get yourself 10% off a ton of cups, tubs, and even more. And there is just a ton of flavors over there that I think you guys would really, really like. But let's get back into the video. So as I said, Chris Niosi is the new voice actor for Honkai Star Rail until one bit of information came out on Twitter. Now, I can't find the original tweet, but obviously this is all blown up.
Well, it's got to be true. If it was on Twitter, whatever it is, it's got to be true, right?
And there has been a ton of news articles on it. So we're going to Sportskeeda, who do a lot of internet kind of news and stuff, and they pretty much have it all here if you guys want to go look at it. But it says,
what did he do? Allegations, controversy, explored as Honkai Star Rail post sparks backlash online. What did he do, man? Tell me.
Chris Niosi, and what did he do? Allegations, controversy explored as Honkai Star Rail post sparks backlash online. Now, obviously, they go through a lot of what he's done, and then he says, however, following the announcement on July 18th, several netizens
my birthday
brought up past abuse allegations against the voice actor.
Okay, not great that that's actually on my birthday. Okay.
Which initially emerged in 2019. It says, in late July of that year, one of Niosi's ex-girlfriends accused him of having manipulative and abusive behavior. After the girlfriend came forward with...
Never good to hear that, but... when it comes to these sort of things, this is serious allegations, and, just because somebody said something, we've got to be careful in what we say and what we accuse people of after the fact, because some people hear stuff like that and they just run with it. Not saying it's not true, not saying it's true. have no knowledge on this at all. This is the first I'm hearing about it, if I'm honest.
With the claims in the blog post, several other former partners of the voice actor as well as colleagues accused him of similar mistreatment and abuse. So again, obviously this guy is not a good guy at all. It's quite...
Okay, there's potentially some form here. Multiple people coming out. You know, there is the saying, where there's no smoke without fire. But at the same time, just because of some people online have said some things, it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But what, other than that, man, Hoyo are just catching flack at the moment, aren't they? There seem to be in like quite a few controversies, like in the West, in China, all over the shop. It's like there's a little bit of a, you know, drama cycle going on at the moment for them.
Quite terrible, the things that he's done. Now also, it's a big...
Then again, though, is that really a thing that's, you know, not happening for me? From what I see, there always seems to be some drama going on, at least with Genshin anyway, or the community in some degree.
Issue as well, as they said that he also mistreated a lot of his colleagues, and obviously he's going to be working on Honkai Star with a lot of people, not only other voice actors, but also people in production and stuff like that. What's to say that he wouldn't do anything to them either? Now, there was a full post on Tumblr of...
Okay, we don't know that. That's, you know, that's definitely taking some things that have been said and then making an assumption that he's going to do something based on some allegations that we don't even know are true. So we can't say, you know, I feel like you know, we've got, like I say, we have to be careful with these sort of things. It's one thing to totally ignore it. I think when allegations are made, it should be taken seriously, but we should never just go into the fact that, right, that's it, bang to rights, dude's done it. Let's now say that he's going to potentially treat other people badly. We don't know that. Of course, we might get some information here that changes my mind totally, but let's see.
Of all places, which is a little bit weird. But he actually made a massive apology post like this. Now, obviously, you know, nothing's going to change what he did if he apologizes for it. But there's this whole post here if you guys want to go read it. I want some more context behind what he said, but he pretty much owned up to it. And obviously, a lot of the time in this community...
Okay, all right. I guess I take back some of the stuff I just said then. Okay, so if he's owned up to it, then the guy, I don't know what he's exactly owned up to, but then I guess he's a bit of a bellend then, I guess. Okay.
There's people, you know, alleging stuff that happened and saying that this happened. And sometimes it's just not true at all. But in this case, it's actually true. And the person who did it...
Well, I'm glad he clarified that. It's always nice because some people will just hear allegations and then just go on a witch hunt on people. And I'm like, again, if people do make allegations, I think people should take them seriously. It depends on the severity of the allegations. I think, you know, if we're talking high level stuff here, then the police should definitely be involved in a lot of this stuff. Depends on if the person who's making the allegation wants to report it. But I always think if you're going to make reports of something serious like that, it should be taken to the police rather than to the internet. Not that saying that this is what's been alleged here, but it's good to see that, you know, he understands that, which I'm sure he does. He seems like a sensible person, Kazuhana does. But the fact that the dude's actually admitted to it, that's not a great look, is it? It's not a great look for Hoyo either, really. I know that Hoyo don't necessarily care about social issues regarding race in the West, but I'm pretty sure they probably don't want to be attached to something like that, depending on what he's done. Now, I don't know if it goes beyond manipulation and verbal abuse. Are we talking physical abuse here? Are we talking, like, you know, serious shit?
It has actually confirmed that it's true and that what he did was, you know, real, and that all of the allegations that have been brought out were also real. And obviously this caused a bit of backlash online and stuff like that, especially whenever it happened in 2019. Nintendo actually removed him from the Fire Emblem game series, where he voiced the protagonist.
Holy shit, dude was working in a lot of things then, wasn't he? Way to burn your career if that, well, obviously it's not burned his career because Hoyo have been like, yo, we'll take you, dude.
Byleth. Now, obviously, it's super weird to see him being announced as a Honkai Star voice actor because, you know, he's been banned from a lot of different places. I mean, he's been taken off of games, he's not been worked with, but for some reason, Honkai Star felt it was a good idea to actually hire this guy, which, again, is a totally bad move for them.
Hoyo were thinking, it's been a few days since we've been catching some slack in the West specifically. What can we do to roil things up, right? Let's spice it up, baby. Let's do something. Let's get that drama farm going, baby.
Obviously, it wasn't Honkai Star themselves who found this voice actor and hired him. It was some voice acting talent company. But again, Honkai Star is the ones who employs the voice acting talent company, so they have a say in what...
Well, they have the overall say, really, don't they? Of course, the agency's going to be the one that goes out and scouts the VAs to put forth for them, I'm guessing, to do auditions and such, or, well, I would imagine they would do. I've never worked in VA, but I would imagine there'd be auditions, so it's entirely up to Hoyoverse whether they employ somebody, and I would imagine they would hopefully do the due diligence on the history of the people they're going to employ, especially when they are managing massive IPs that are global and the ramifications that can come with that for their IP, I guess. But then again, if it doesn't matter in China, it really doesn't matter to Huyo, does it?
Goes on and who they hire. And obviously people immediately caught on to who this voice actor was. There's a lot of content creators and also just other people around on Twitter, you know, exposing a lot of the stuff that he's done and making people aware of, you know, how much of a horrible guy this guy is. And obviously this post has got 8.6 million views, so people were quite annoyed with this. And it's kind of a shame as well, because the character does look really cool, and that's what a lot of the comments are in reply to this post. I mean, people...
That's what Huyo were like. We're going to bring this guy in. He's got a bit of a rap sheet, so we're going to make him a 4-star. That's your punishment, bro. We're going to employ ya. Well, you ain't getting no 5-star, mate.
We're saying this character looks really good, especially for a 4-star, he looks really, really good. But the only downside is the voice actor. Now, how did the community actually respond to this? And how did the voice actors of the game respond to this? Well, there's actually this video from Sayu. If you don't know who Sayu is, I've talked about him quite a bit in my last videos about some other voice actor drama and stuff like that, especially to do with the whole Natland situation. But he pretty much went on stream, and this was a clip that was actually played on stream. I won't play it, I will just literally tell you what he said.
Okay, as well, it seems like a lot of the VAs in the Huyo games as well actually stream also. A few people come through my stream and let me know that. You know, makes sense because they're going to be able to do VTuber stuff and they're probably sound really good doing it as well. But yeah, quite a surprise to me.
And what he said was that he actually
not sure why,
Chris,
but he just
and
was.
He said he talked to all of the victims and people, and he said to him that, you know, they all forgave him and that they all supported him trying to be better. And that...
Okay, then, so what are we talking about here then? What are we talking about in the regards to the allegations of abuse? Are we talking toxic relationships? Are we talking, you know, emotionally manipulative, which of course are not good traits to have, but there are levels to this. You know, people can be pretty shitty boyfriends or girlfriends, and they're not necessarily people who don't deserve to have careers and, you know, to get forward in life. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not trashy people. Of course, if you're manipulating your partner, being especially verbally abusive, I'm guessing if they're saying they're forgiving him and they want him to get on with his stuff, I'm assuming, obviously, I don't know. I'm going to assume it's not physical. So the dude's obviously just been a bit of an arsehole to whoever he's been with, which, you know, I think if you've been around the block, there's plenty of people like that. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve to maybe redeem themselves, you know? I think we all have negative traits. It's just how bad those negative traits are, aren't they? And I think if his ex-partners have all said they forgive him and want to see him thrive, I guess, then who are we to question that then, I guess, really? Obviously, totally saying this without knowing what he's actually been alleged that he's done. So, you know, might take that back in a moment.
You know, trying to paint this picture of like he's improving and the people that he hurt kind of like supported that, when in actual fact he was lying and that he hadn't actually spoken to all of them.
Okay, all right, I said it and I take it back. If that's the truth, then all right then. So these people, I'm guessing, haven't said this then. Right, okay, all right, I'm making myself look stupid. Well, I'm not, but you know, if they did say that, you know, it makes sense, but I guess that they didn't, so all right, I'll retract that then.
He's only maybe talking about a select few of them, and obviously Sayu didn't know this, so whenever Sayu first talked to him, he was like, oh, okay, you know, that's fair enough, he's improving, so I'll support him in, you know, being in Honkai.
Which is fair, if you know, if you've heard that, you're gonna be like, okay, all right, you know, it's not a great look, but if that's the case, like, as I said just, you're gonna be like, okay, if they've forgiven you, I'm not a fan, but who am I to judge kind of thing. But if that's not true, then that kind of makes it even worse in a way.
Honkai. But then after he found out that he was lying, obviously he deleted all of the posts and stuff, which he did get a little bit of backlash because people saw him supporting him, which obviously, you know, isn't a very good look. But obviously he didn't know, so, you know, it's not his fault at all. And
yeah, I kind of feel bad for him. But at the same time, now, you got to be careful. Like, you especially can't stake your reputation on things that you've heard through the grapevine or other people's word at the end of the day. So I said you can't take people's word for allegations for 100, and at the same time, if there is something going on like that, you can't take somebody who's involved in it or is the person who's being accused. You can't just take their word for it as well. You know, you especially don't stake your reputation on it and put yourself out there and not so much defend them, but, you know, kind of align yourself with them, because it's only going to drag you into the dirt, and this is the sort of dirt that sticks as well.
It's definitely good to see that he clarified this on stream later on, but there has been so many more voice actors who have actually gotten involved and, you know, said their piece about it. With Alejandro Sab, who is Sayu, as I said, and it says here that he apologized on stream for not looking into the accusations and blindly supporting him. With Damon Mills, the voice actor for Blade and Lenny, he wrote a post in support but then deleted it, and he also unfollowed him. So obviously he learned about what happened and then, you know, corrected his mistake. Karma Kali recently defended him by downplaying the accusations as being a bad boyfriend.
Which makes me feel that's kind of what I was saying there. These what I'm saying. What are the allegations? Are we going to get some information on what the allegations actually were, or are we actually going to go and have to find the post regarding the allegations? Because obviously that's what I was thinking. If it is just a toxic situation, he's just a dickhead, and being a dickhead doesn't necessarily mean you don't deserve to put food on the table. But, you know, if it's something more serious, then you definitely probably don't deserve to be doing this for a living anyway.
Previously defended him in 2020. So again, that isn't good at all. Although I'm pretty sure he is literally just a anime voice actor. He doesn't voice in Honkai Star or anything, which is good. Then we've got Katie Johnson, who wrote a statement in 2020 and did the heart eyes emoji on his Mose announcement, which again, obviously proves that she has some kind of support for him or doesn't care about what he's done. But again, after looking it up, she doesn't really seem to be a very big voice actor, so again, it's not that much of an issue. Then they've also left some
Well, I don't think you really should just, you know, of course, what other people are saying on the matter necessarily doesn't really matter, does it? But I don't think you can say, well, if somebody's small, so it doesn't really matter if I'm supporting somebody who might be a bit of a terrible person. Well, this person's got a bit of a, you know, he's got more work on, so it definitely matters what he's thinking. I think it matters what everybody's thinking, but I understand what he's saying. That person might have more reach, so it might affect more people, and yeah, okay.
Other names down here. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go through all of these because they've literally added no, like, summary or anything of what they've said, so I don't want to, like, throw people under the bus if they actually haven't done anything. Obviously, the person who's posted this could be a little bit, you know, unhinged. And they've actually left out the part about Sunday's voice actor talking about this too. Because as I was saying, people have also been going after Sunday's voice actor too because he actually came forward in support of Chris Niosi, which...
So far, though, this all just seems like a lot of he said, she said kind of thing. It seems like some allegations have been made. I'm just going off this video, but Kazahana's not really alluding to any like specific things that are giving proof apart from that he admitted it. I don't know exactly what he supposedly has done, or obviously has done because he's admitted it. I think we've got to be careful in like going after all these different people, accusing them of supporting him or whatever, because they themselves might not exactly know what the deal is. And I don't think it's always on people who might know somebody to know exactly what they're always up to in their private or personal life. Even if it's kind of become semi-public, it doesn't mean, you know, people go to work and they come home and they do their own thing. That not everybody's always online like a lot of us are, especially people on Twitter who spend their entire life digging into stuff like this, so they think everybody should know all of the information that they know as well.
Again, it's extremely weird, and this was all on the Honkai Star Rail subreddit. Now, this is a post from Sip Stefan, who obviously posts a lot of stuff to do with Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact news, any pretty much Hoyoverse game news. And pretty much there's this long post of him trying to downplay everything that Chris had done and all the other stuff that had happened. And maybe he's just in a similar boat.
Hold up, we've got to pause this a second. What's the guy's name? Chris Niosi. I need to know exactly what he's been accused of. So I think it's incredibly important. What he's allegedly or has admitted to doing, rather than just you know, kind of trying to guess what Kazahana's alluding to here. Okay, right. So he had apparently, according to Google, because you know Google, in response to Tumblr and Twitter call-out posts on July 18th, 2019, Niosi made a post on his Tumblr account confessing that he had been emotionally and sexually abusing colleagues, family, and partners for over a decade. Nielsen's post highlighted specific instances of abuse for which he issued public apologies. Right, okay. So if that's the case then right, okay, yeah. That's pretty serious. So I think trying to defend this sort of stuff, of course, people can be, like I said, dickheads in relationships, and I'm not defending emotional abuse. Of course, I'm not. But I'm just saying, a toxic person in a toxic relationship can be a bad partner. Of course, they can. But emotionally abusing and sexually abusing colleagues, family, and partners. Obviously, I'm just going off this here, but we've got the fact that he's admitted to this. But I just kind of wanted to know the specifics. Was it just, him being a bit of a prick, or was it more serious? Evidently, it's more serious. So, okay. So, definitely not a good look if you're working in the space, or even if you're not, if you're just a normal person, to defend that. Not a good look at all. And it is kind of wild then, if that's the case, and he has admitted this for doing it over a decade as well, that he would be employed by Hoyo. That's kind of crazy, actually.
To Sayu, who he just doesn't really know the full story, but it definitely seems like he does know quite a bit about what happened and just is, publicly defending him. But on this post here, you can see that it says, it seems that the comment section is very split, with many expressing disappointment in this response. So some people are angry at Sunday's voice actors, some aren't, because people can have their own opinions, but obviously everyone is very angry towards Chris Niosi. Obviously, this whole situation is kind of crazy, and I think that Honkai Star really needs to find a new voice actor for Mose.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, there's no defending that. He's admitted it, so it's obviously happened. He's not trying to defend it or argue that it didn't. I haven't read into the post in its entirety, but from all the posts I'm seeing, it looks like he has admitted it. So if he's admitted to that, yeah, it's definitely something he shouldn't be working on. A game that a lot of young girls are into as well. Of course, the character doesn't represent the person, but the person behind the character represents the fucking person, and he's representing Hoyoverse, which doesn't look great. And as I said, it's one thing them, not giving a damn about Western sensibilities regarding race and representation and all that sort of stuff, whether you think it's bad or whatever, that's something that's not this bad, you know what I mean? That's just personal opinions on whether you think something should be in the game or your preferences and such, and China just not giving a damn about all that. But, come on, man. I know they only listen when China's mad, but that's freaking wild, that is, if they just ignore that. Like, I'm curious, have they actually responded to this?
Obviously, this is drip marketing, so we've still got ages until the actual character comes out, and I doubt they've even actually recorded the voice lines for him yet. Maybe they've recorded a couple of them, but it's not too late to change the voice actor, and I don't think it's too late in any situation, as we saw in the Tainari situation. And if they change the voice actor literally, halfway through the game, and Tainari...
I think that they're giving some few credits at the minute as well in the West, because obviously with everything that's been going on, like I said, about the previous stuff we've just talked about, they need some brownie points, and this would probably give them quite a lot and maybe cool down. I know they don't care, but hey, why not gather some brownie points while you can and get rid of an asshole as well?
Have been out for a while. They changed him and actually found a voice actor who could do a very similar voice to him, just without it being that person. Which, again, I think is what they should do with Mose. They should just find someone else to do it. Yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know about this voice actor drama thing. I just wanted to make a quick video, summarizing pretty much everything going on, especially with a lot of the responses coming out. There was also recently a response from Robin's voice actor as well, who pretty much just said, they were unhappy with what was going on. And I think that's the case with a lot of the other Honkai Star voice actors. Maybe we will see a change very, very soon, especially with a lot of these voice actors, saying that they don't like this guy being a part of their cast. Because it's not just a problem with the players.
Which is unsurprising, come on.
It's a problem with the actual voice actors. Maybe Hoyoverse will make a change. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what
they definitely should do.
Happens. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think Chris Niosi should be allowed to voice act Mose, or do you think they should go find a different voice actor that actually hasn't done any of this terrible stuff? But for some reason, it seems pretty impossible for Hoyoverse not to do this. They just somehow hire every single scummy person on the planet. Yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as I said, go over to GamerSubs and use my code KAZA, where you can get yourself 10% off.
They're obviously just getting attracted by the CVs of some of these VAs, aren't they? Really, looking at, because dude looks like he's got a good CV again. He did a great job in Mob Psycho. But yeah, that's wild.
Kind of cups, tubs, and even more. And I will see you guys in the next video. That's all. See ya.
Yeah, good video from Kazahana again. That's pretty wild, actually. Like, Jesus, man, what are Hoyo doing?